After spending the night just east of Cheyenne, I began a drive up to Fort Laramie. It's a beautiful area, the high plains, it's very open country as you can see, a two-lane road. It was nice to get off the interstate and kind of see the world as close as possible to what it might have looked like to people 100 to 150 to 170 years ago when they were crossing the plains to get from the eastern part of the United States to places like Oregon and California. Fort Laramie was a big part of that. It started as a trading post servicing traders and trappers that were working in this area from the Rocky Mountains and through the Platte River Valley and what later became the Oregon Trail. And it became an army post at one point and continued so until it eventually shut down. So we're going to take a look at that. I've got some great pictures from there, which I put together in a slideshow. So stay with me. We're moving at warp speed to get to Fort Laramie. All right, I'm headed to Torrington, Wyoming, where I changed direction from going north to going west and head out to Fort Laramie. I thought Torrington was a very interesting town. It probably represents what many towns in the Wyoming area look like. It's a small farming town surrounded by, as you can see, corn and other farms in the area. Okay, just crossing the Platte River, and I'm about a mile and a half from the visitor center. So I'm in the Fort Laramie area, the Fort Laramie National Historic. Okay, I'm gonna get this, but I'm also gonna stop this. All right, I got my camera out of the back, and I'm driving in to the center. I'll see if it looks like I'm stopping here. Maybe. Let's see. Is there anybody here? I don't see anybody in the guard booth, so I guess I'm not stopping. Wow. Quite. There's going to be a lot to see here. My goodness. I think this is where I park for the visitor center. Visitor parking, and then start walking around, I think. So I will do just that. I will go down here, park, and grab my camera and my phone, and I'm at 10:23. I'm here. One thing that struck me interesting was that unlike what we see in old movies and television shows, all of the forts in the Old West did not have a barricade or a palisade around it. Fort Laramie was an example. It was just out in the open. It was as big as it was allowed to get. So you see the buildings here, but we don't necessarily find it enclosed by a wall as we might have expected by, again, seeing old movies and television shows. This building contained, as you will see, the post office, as well as what served as the store or the post exchange, which sold goods to not only the military people on the post, but also to people who came through. This is the officers' bar. The officers were able to come in here and enjoy a drink and perhaps a game of cards. And as we'll see in just a moment, the enlisted personnel also had a bar room, and that was open to the public, and I was able to go in and enjoy a root beer. Not a real beer, but a root beer. It was very hot that day and it tasted very good. Finally, the last item on this is the post hospital.
All right, I'm just gonna take a little video of my leaving Fort Laramie. That was really, really interesting. Very, very interesting. I can't even imagine what it was like back in the day. Rustic hotel. What an incredible nation's welcome.
I'm leaving Fort Laramie. I really enjoyed being able to walk around and see the fort and imagine what it must have been like. As someone who really enjoys history and reads a great deal about history, these last couple of days where I was able to see Fort Kearny and the Pony Express station in Gothenburg, Nebraska, and then Fort Laramie, it was very, very enjoyable, and it really made the trip a lot of fun for me. I enjoy seeing places where history happened and reading about it, and when I've read about the people on the Oregon Trail and the California Trail, and to be able to stop by Fort Laramie and see where they actually would camp on the way and receive supplies and things was really, really enjoyable for me. I spent the rest of the day driving back south through Wyoming into Colorado. Eventually got down in the Denver area and spent the night at Golden, Colorado, which is slightly west of Denver, and started out the next day, took US 40, which is a beautiful highway, through the Rocky Mountains, and I concluded the next day in Orem, Utah. So stay tuned, that video is coming up next.